What is happening, Gothamites? K-Wing here, and today we're going to be talking about the newest actor to play the Batman, and also why I'm a little concerned about what this means for Batman as a whole. More after this. Alright, so before we get started, if you guys could smash that like button, always appreciated. And, yeah, so a new Batman actor has been cast for the Titans, actor Iain Glen from, I believe, Game of Thrones fame. To be honest, I'm not really a big HBO fan. I don't really have cable. I've kind of foregone cable back in the mid-2000s and focused on streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, Drama Fever at one point, and, of course, Amazon Prime, where, you know, I could still pretty much get all the shows that I need to watch. I just have to pay for them. It's cheaper than cable. I've been doing it for years, and I save a lot of money in the long run. So, anyway, the new actor playing Batman, a lot of you guys have been tagging me and asking me questions. Are you okay with this? Why wouldn't I be? I mean, besides this guy being the oldest actor to play the Batman now, he's in his early to mid-50s, I believe. And some people are freaking out about that because they're like, wait a second, this doesn't really work with the timeline for the Titan series. And I just want to say to those guys, yes, it does. Because Robin has been around since he was 8 years old. When he leaves Batman in the Titan series, he's in his 20s. He's not a teenager. So, yeah, you have to remember that the first season of Titans takes place a year and a half after he left Gotham. And the reason why he left Gotham is because he kind of committed manslaughter with Tony Zuko, like failing to save the guy from the mob. And this was a huge rifting point between Batman and Dick Grayson, which is something that apparently is going to be mended in Season 2, which I have the synopsis here, and I will read it to you guys a little bit. It sounds like they're going to make Batman out to be more of like a Nick Fury type character, and also they are going to be transforming the Young Justice version of Batman, like this more fatherly figure who, you know, really cares for his Bat-sons, or Robins, whatever you want to call it. And he wants to be a big help, whether that's going to be a financial role, like we saw some of that, like for the different safe houses that Batman has in this DC universe that's not connected to other ones. This is its own Earth that has its own Wonder Woman, Superman, Justice League, and now Titans. And also he's going to be instrumental in having Robin become Nightwing. Like, it's not really going to be the Superman role, which he does exist in this universe, but that is going to be played as more of like a fatherly accepting of what his son wants to do with his life. And I'm pretty sure that Dick Grayson is the adopted son of Batman in this universe. Not 100% sure on that, but if they're going with the New 52... kind of, then yeah, since you have to remember Jeff Johns is a New 52 writer. He did do a lot of stuff with the pre-canon, so the pre-Flashpoint, but he's really created his own universe in a sense with the New 52, such as Shazam and a lot of the other characters like Titans and things like that. So he's had a lot of like free liberties, and you can really get that sense with this kind of murdery Titans universe. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, whatever. Yeah, so, I mean, Batman being older, it makes sense in this universe because we've had a Robin who was much, much older when he left the nest. Just to put this in comparison, Batman the Animated Series, if you guys don't know this, Batman is supposed to be in his mid to late 40s in the animated series. I know that they don't really come out and say it, but he has been the Dark Knight in the animated series universe for over 20 years, so he's more of like the Ben Affleck Batman in that sense, and that is also something that Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck also wanted in the DC cinematic universe. Like, they were going for a more, like, weathered Arkham animated series Batman. Which made sense because by the time Tim Drake came around in the animated series, Batman was either 45 or 50. So, yeah, an older Batman with having 2 Robins is not a big deal. It's not something that should be a big concern for you guys. So take that for me. Hopefully that will make you feel a little bit better. But yeah, according to the synopsis again, Bruce Wayne is going to be an instrumental role in guiding the Titans. I wouldn't say leading them. That'll definitely be Dick's thing. But the entire premise of one of the episodes and also one of the arcs, from what I'm hearing from Warner Brothers, is that Bruce is going to be doing his best to kind of mend that relationship. And because Dick has a lot of anger towards Bruce because he feels like he didn't really, you know, handle that situation very well when his son was responsible for getting Zuko murdered. According to my WB contact as well, it sounds like Batman has not killed anybody. He's a very brutal Batman, like the Affleck version, but he is not manslaughter Batman. Like, his actions do not lead to people being killed. The only character in Gotham that has faced a similar problem with that has been the Robin character. Both Jason Todd beating up on police officers, which is also going to come to light in the second season. I believe Jason Todd is going to kind of be either sent adrift, or we're going to see a lot of molding for his future anti-hero persona, which you guys know who that is. There's going to be a clash between him and Batman as the series goes on because Bruce is going to find out about the police brutality, and that is going to be interesting. There's some misinformation going around that this is a retired Batman. That's not true. Batman and Robin still exist in Gotham, and Jason and Batman are working together. He doesn't go out quite as much. He believes that Bruce Wayne can do a lot of good, which is something that the Telltale Batman was trying to do, and also Arkham Batman. So that's not something that hasn't really been done with the lore before, so it's really not something to be concerned about. A lot of the stuff is being very carefully drafted by Jeff Johns, who I actually respect as a writer, and I think that he's going to do great bringing these characters to life. Another interesting element of this season is Deathstroke is going to play a big role, as is, I believe, Jericho and the other Wilson family. Whether or not they're going to be a straight adaptation of Judas Contract, I don't believe so. But Deathstroke is going to kind of become the primary antagonist, and Trigon is kind of going to be like the Thanos character in the background, with him probably being the final boss, so to speak, with the last couple episodes of Titans Season 2. So anyway, with that all out of the way, I have some misgivings about them casting a TV show Batman before announcing who's going to play the new Batman in the 2021 The Batman movie, if that's still happening. I mean, the solicitations are still there, but according to things I'm hearing from Warner Brothers, it sounds like they want to fast track a Shazam sequel because they've already made $200 million, and they are their second week as the #1 movie in the world. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, came out and said that he's one of the producers behind the film. He's very happy with how the film is performing. He thinks the film's going to have some legs, and he basically revealed that the film took anywhere between 80 to 85 million to make, and since they've already done 200 million worldwide and they're still actually gaining an audience for the film, they're not really losing anything in their second week yet. That means big things for a Black Adam movie, which he announced officially. He's been cast as Black Adam for 10 years and a part of the DC Universe, but they haven't really done anything. He says that the Black Adam film is going to start filming either the end of this year or the start of next year. And The Rock makes movies really fast, so whenever he starts filming it, you could expect that movie to drop like probably around Christmas or something like that, because Jumanji started filming in February, I think, and the movie's coming out in December of this year. So The Rock is, you know, a film machine. But anyway, back to my problems with this, Batman actor being cast. If you guys don't know this, I've talked about this before, but the Bat Embargo is a real thing. It mostly involves Batman characters, though they've recently extended it to Wonder Woman and Superman, which technically they're not allowed to appear on television when the characters are in the film at the same time. If you see a Superman CW series happen now, it's because Henry Cavill is not done with the Superman role, but he's not going to appear for a while. So that means a Superman character will probably take flight on television, live action wise, for a while, just like you're going to see with Batman on the Titans universe. So the problem is when you see these characters on television in live action adaptations, that means that there's trouble in the cinematic front because of the whole, Bat Embargo, which states, as we've been over this for years now, if a character is appearing on television or movies, they can't be, appearing at the same time. This is such a stupid rule, but they've done it with Batman villains in the animated series, where Joker appeared heavily more than some of the other characters, like Riddler and Two-Face were kind of written out of the show during Batman Forever. Then the focus was more on Harley Quinn and Ivy, and, some of the more obscure characters with Joker and, Penguin and Catwoman taking up a much bigger role after their characters were off the big screen, with Two-Face just kind of having like cameo roles or non-speaking cameos, where Bruce Timm and company tried to use the character as much as possible just to kind of stick it to their contracts. And they got away with it because it did feel like Two-Face and Riddler still had a big presence on the show, even if they just kind of appeared locked up in Arkham, or they just had like non-speaking cameos in like the Court episode and some other things. And then of course after their characters were out of the film, then they were allowed to be on TV more. But yeah, so with this Iain Glen guy being cast as Batman, this is probably going to affect the cinematic universe quite a bit. I don't know how much. I really wish WB would drop this stupid rule because it really affects fans. I don't think it's a problem for having multiple Batman at the same time, but it also, Christian Bale and Chris Nolan kind of like furthered this, paranoia of like two Batman can exist at the same time, because they were responsible for the death of the Justice League Mortal film that was going to have Armie Hammer be Batman, and the first ever Justice League film that was in early production in 2008, I believe it was, something like that. They were responsible for getting that film canceled because they worried about Batman being in it. And originally Batman was written out of Justice League Mortal, and they were going to bring in Hawkman or something, but it just didn't work and the whole film collapsed. And I really hope that this doesn't continue going forward. Very excited about, who they cast as Batman. I think a, guy in his 50s is going to do really well. Remember, for the Titan series, we just saw like kind of a shadowy figure and bodybuilders like playing like more of this Arkham Batman. So I think this guy has the acting chops and the experience to pull this off. I'm looking forward to a more fatherly Batman, like in Young Justice. I really love that about the show, and I think that it's going to really help push, of course, Grayson to Nightwing. I just really hope that this doesn't affect the DC Cinematic Universe, and that Batman is still on track for 2021, and that Matt Reeves will make some kind of formal announcement. But the fact that he's being all silent is really giving me, it's making me nervous. And also, I don't know what's going on with that Batman cartoon that's been in development either. That might be, like, scrapped now, too. So, but, who knows what's going to happen. This month is officially Batman's 80th anniversary. If you didn't know, March 30th is not when the book hit newsstands. So everyone feel free to celebrate Batman's 80th with this announcement. Hopefully this calms you guys down a little bit. I've been asked about, what I think about this guy. Like I said, I don't watch Game of Thrones. I'm sure the guy's a great actor. We've seen that Jason Momoa killed it as Aquaman, so these guys who act in that, like, medieval drama, they've got the presence and the personality to pull this off, and this guy could end up being a really cool Batman. I don't know. I'm waiting to see if he's going to appear in the suit or if he's just going to kind of just hang out as Bruce Wayne, you know, sulking in his manner like Christian Bale at the start of Dark Knight Rises. I don't know. But anyway, now I want to hear from all of you guys. How do you feel about the newest man to play the Batman? Are you excited? Are you worried? Let me know. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been a while since Bat News. I know I've addressed this in the past, but I just really need to alliterate this so people understand. Whenever it comes to sponsorships or our contacts and developers sending us games early, like weeks or months early, that's our priority. So right now I'm finishing up something with Capcom, and then I'll be working with Square Enix for the release of Final Fantasy X and X-2. And I am working heavily with Hasbro and Saban with Power Rangers content for the next couple months. And that's why I've been doing so many Power Ranger things, and that will continue for a while. Very happy and excited about the opportunities that's going to come from that. But at the same time, it's going to kind of hurt this channel again. This channel doesn't really support us financially anymore. It's kind of like a hobby channel now. I hate to say that. This channel was a big factor on how we paid our rent, and now that's kind of gone. So we've had to work harder on the Let's Play channel by releasing way too many videos and me losing sleep and all this other stuff. So, yeah. But I do love the Ninja game. I want to get back to it, but since we bought that with our own money, and that's not sponsored by Activision, which is a surprise, but I don't believe we outreach to them because it's kind of a shock for some of the low-risk brands that we are partnered with. I don't know how they feel about that, and I also don't know what me playing M-rated games like Mortal Kombat or whatever does with some of our partners. Especially since our brands are connected, but also kind of separate. K-Wings Let's Plays is a family-friendly, kid-appropriate channel, whereas this channel is whatever I feel like doing. So, yeah. But I will continue to support that game when I can. I'm just kind of heavily divided right now. But, yeah. Thanks for listening, people. I hope you guys enjoyed the Bat News. Please don't be worried about this. Be more concerned about Bat Embargo and this affecting, you know, how Batman's going to appear in movies and video games and all this other stuff. Because remember, when a character appears on television, that means they're not going to be in the movies anytime soon. But until we meet again, Gothamites, God bless and happy gaming. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you with another Bat News, probably later this week. Bye-bye.